Okay, so while I got y'all while I'm driving, I'm gonna go ahead and do the video. It's crazy, I've been having more success doing them like this. I did one on Black Panther months ago, and it's still sitting on my computer because I haven't had time to edit it. So forget all that fancy editing. I'm just gonna speak real to y'all. Because it's coming out on Blu-ray again this week. Now I had a different take on Black Panther than most people have. I'll go ahead and share it with y'all. Basically, I love that it was a great movie. However, I felt like it was a situation where black people were owed $10 million, but they only gave us $6 million. And I'm like, okay, what about the other $4 million? I just feel like there's a pattern where whether it's Hollywood, whether it's the people in control, whoever it is, they give us something, but they always take something in a way. It's never a full-out victory. So it was a great movie, great to see black people finally in power. In the past, they would put us in movies, but it was always this demeaning role. But now they place us in a position of power, and but they've still managed to take something from us. Now, some background on my position of this movie is you have to understand a few things. First of all, just like I said, the theme here that is they give us something, but they take something away. For example, Denzel Washington, one of the greatest actors overall ever. Made several Oscar-worthy movies. Oscars are controlled by the Hollywood and what they deem worthy or acceptable for praise or recognition. So, Denzel's esteemed career, he did not get an Oscar for Remember the Titans, where he's a great coach, not Man on Fire, where he's a good bodyguard, protecting a little girl, not Crimson Tide, not Malcolm X, where he's speaking powerful as a black man. All the movies, not John Q, where he's a black father, proving how messed up the system is. All of the great movies he's done, not Manchurian Candidate, where he's a soldier vet who's brainwashed, not The Equalizer. He doesn't get recognized or by Hollywood for those roles, but he's won 4 Oscars in his great movie-worthy career. One of them, his first one was in 89 when he was in Glory, which he was a slave who was fighting for this American country. That was his first Oscar. Then he got one in Training Day, where he was a crooked cop. He got one, I believe, in Hurricane, where he was a boxing champion who was wrongfully convicted of murder and imprisoned for most of his life. And then he was awarded one for Fences, where he was a father who was an abusive and adulterous dad and a non-loving and an alcoholic father. So those are the 4 roles that they decided that Denzel was, I guess, most award-worthy for playing. Once again, not all of the great roles. You can throw a dart at any one of his movies and they all are Oscar-worthy. As well as even the latest one that came out this year, John Esquire, the lawyer movie he was in. So that's one that theme there for that. Then we have looking at women. The only black woman to win a leading role for Oscar was Halle Berry, and that was in Monsters Ball, where she had to get naked and basically get rescued by this white guy who turned racist, and basically it was illegal porn, I would say. That was when she got recognized. And then I also did a synopsis on all the other. We have a lot of supporting Oscars, but it's roles that are not of power, but roles that show that our black women are either angry, upset, or belittling, or not of any power. So those are the Oscar supporting roles that our women have won. Third one is now this one really affects me with the movie because Black Panther is written by Marvel, of course. Marvel is owned by Walt Disney. Now Walt Disney has a very strict formula for their Disney princesses. It's normally someone who's pure of heart, who's innocent, who due to no fault of their own is attacked by some nemesis who just wants to do evil by them out of jealousy, envy, something like that. And then they're a damsel in distress who's rescued by a Prince Charming. Yet when Disney decided to give us our princess, our black princess, with the Princess and the Frog, it's not a girl who's of good quality, but it's a girl who's struggling and broke and doesn't really have anything, and she gets money from a white girl who is rich to go start a bakery, and then she's seen and addressed by a prince who mistakes her for something more valuable than she is, and so he tricks her into kissing him. She turns into a frog, and then she spent most of her movie as a frog, and basically duped into royalty or becoming a princess. So they break the formula once again for our princess, and once again, so it's like they give us a Disney princess, but it's only under certain guises. They give us our Oscars, but it's only under certain roles. Another exhibit. So they gave us a month to recognize. They gave us Black History Month. So they gave us a month to recognize us, but once again, they never just give us anything all out. So we all recognize. First of all, they gave us the shortest month of the year, 28 days, right? Now, we also have the only month that has 3 holidays in it. Of all the months, no other month has 3 holidays except for the shortest month of the year, February. And of those holidays, 2 of those holidays are last upwards of a week celebration. Valentine's Day, you're not focused on Black History Month. You're focused on what you're gonna get your mate for the week leading up to it. And then you have Mardi Gras. Mardi Gras is a celebration that spans for a few different weeks, and it touches February every year. And then we have President's Day as well. So President's Day is only one day, but they give us a month that's watered down with all these other holidays to take away. So although they want to get credit for giving us a month, the reality is we don't really only get credit, get recognized, or Black History Month recognized for a couple weeks out of the month. So once again, it's just, yeah, we're appreciative of the month, but if you're gonna do it, I'm just recognizing what's really going on. So all that spills over into Black Panther. So with Black Panther, like I said, it was a great movie. It was great to finally see us in a role of power, in a position of organization, of money, of success, and all of that. But my issue with it is in a Marvel series where everything is make-believe, everything is Marvel, in every Marvel film, all the heroes, everything was make-believe. The only thing that's close to real life in all of Marvel movies was the villain in Black Panther. And that bothers me so much so because the villain in this movie was somebody who is a black man, which they even say his strength is that he's educated. So, and it's really frustrating me now that the movie's out and they're really trying to sell us how powerful and how great a villain he was, and he's the top 5 all-time Marvel villains. So he's telling me that his only strength was he was an intelligent black man, a trained, intelligent black man, and his main fault was that he was angry due to the injustice that he faced his whole life. He was the victim. He wasn't the villain. But Marvel is trying to label what's the only character in all of their Marvel movies that relates to real life black man. You're labeling him a villain. I have a big problem with that. And it's like the struggle that I have is people can't recognize it and say that I love the movie, it was a great movie, although this was an issue with it. And so we don't want to acknowledge the fact that there's something trying to be communicated there, because the big deal with it is when there's a reason why Incredible Hulk masks sell and why Spider-Man costumes sell and Thor's and Captain America's, those sell. Black Panthers, they sell. But the only thing that we really can strive to be for is a killmonger, and that's the villain. So what they're doing subliminally, teaching our young black men, is if you want to be a killmonger, if you want to aim to be that, you're choosing to be a villain, or you don't want to be that. That's the subliminal messaging that movie is teaching our young black men, is that for you to be angry, for you to be intelligent, for you to be planned and tactical and try to invoke change and unite your people worldwide versus just taking care of what you got here in your house, that is a villain. That is the big okie doke that I believe that they are really trying to pull a fast one on us. And it's heartbreaking that nobody really sees that, because I had this debate with a few men, and they were like, "No, Killmonger wasn't a villain. He was I would want my kid to go with him." And I'm telling him, yes, that's great, because Killmonger is who we relate to. But the reality is, when your son dresses up as Killmonger, what is your son in his mind understanding that he's going to be? He realizing that he's a bad guy. You realize that when you behave a certain way, you're behaving like a bad guy. That is the okie doke. That is the subliminal message that this movie does. Like I say, they gave us something, but once again, they gave us something, but they took something in return. And so they robbed us, especially in the climate of the social issues that we have, where the only thing over a dozen black people that were killed was guilty of is being angry and being intelligent, questioning authority. So we have people that are dying and not being found guilty, dying by cops. But yet you have a movie that's showing that the villain, he relates directly to them. That is insulting, for one. When I saw the movie, I was really heartbroken, and I was really I really feel out of place so much, because I see this and people just say, oh, it's not that deep. But isn't it? That, like I said, there's a reason. Like I said, for a long time, they refused to put us on TV for so long in certain being seen a certain way. So for them to do it, there has to be something else there. There has to be another reason for them to put us on TV and to sacrifice that. And there's another objective here that's at hand. So I just want to share that. Like I said, I know I didn't mean to go this long on it, but man, I'm just tired of every time they give us something, they take something in return. And so when you watch Black Panther, watch it with this new eye, please, and explain to your children what's real and what's not. Wakanda is not real. Black Panther, T'Challa, he's not real. He's fantasy. However, Killmonger is real. He was raised by a single mom in a ghetto. He went to college. He succeeded. He made it to the top by the law of the land, but yet he's the villain. Realistically, they wrapped him up in all of our successful black people. He was a Martin. He was educated like Martin. He was angry like Malcolm. He came back and he took the throne properly, just like Obama, but yet he was the villain. The same way Obama took the throne, and we had white people hating him and hanging dead bodies and stuff. I mean, the nooses in his yard and everything, and calling him N-word, disrespecting him like no other president before. It's the same thing that Killmonger went through, because people didn't like what he represented. So they took the same things that we've been going through, they wrapped up in one person, and they let black people do it to each other, and to see if we really had an issue with it. So once again, the movie in itself was very entertaining if we leave it as entertaining. When we try to make it as this unifying thing and this great message and this great movement for black people, no, we have to realize really what they're trying to do. They're trying to get us to celebrate something while subliminally teaching us that being angry, being aware, being awoke is actually the villainous thing to do. Okay, so just watch it with that eyes. Celebrate the movie, but like I say, recognize that we left $4 million on the table. All right, I'm Wyman. All right, I'm out.